And let's begin. Emmanuel Isch, who's the World Vision Syria Response Director. He joins us from Amman in Jordan. Welcome, Emmanuel. Firstly, I wonder if you can set the scene for us, if you can. What is the estimated scale of displaced people currently in Syria?
Thank you for having me. First of all, we need to be reminded that over half of the population in Syria requires some form of humanitarian assistance. And what we've seen in recent or last few months with the crisis in Lebanon, and more recently with the change in the regime in Syria, that a number of Syrians are planning to go back to Syria and try to reestablish themselves. So far, since December, about 15,000 Syrians have made their journey back home, but that's in relation to 5 million Syrian refugees just in the neighboring countries. So far it's a small number, but it's likely to go up in the coming weeks and months. So people are certainly drawn to go back, but it's also what they find when they get to their home destination.
And precisely what do many people find, given that entire towns, entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble during the course of this long conflict?
Well, what they'll find is a lack of access to basic services, and this has been going on in situation for years, so not just recently. Access to clean water, access to basic health and services, to good nutrition, school for the children, livelihood opportunities. So what we see is three areas that are critical as people plan to return to Syria is limited basic services. Second is around shelter. Their home or apartment may have been severely damaged. And number three is on livelihood opportunities as well. So when people are planning to go back, this will be a mix of challenges and opportunities.
We know that the Syrian authorities are very, very keen, for instance, to see international sanctions lifted, to see a tremendous amount of financial support from the international community when it comes to helping to rebuild Syria and help, of course, IDPs and other refugees return to the country. But what do you think would be the most meaningful help for the international community right now when it comes to those considering going back to their hometowns and cities or simply returning to their country?
Well, there needs to be funding made available for those who are returning back to Syria, but also to support the population at large. So immediate emergency needs, but also invest in the longer term. Again, critical around livelihoods. People will want to go back to the home areas, but if they don't have access to livelihoods or income opportunities, it will be very difficult and very challenging. So from the donor, the partner community, as World Vision, as NGOs, what we're saying is we need more funding, we need more flexible funding, and we also need a commitment for the longer term. Otherwise, I think the impact will remain limited.
Okay, Emmanuel, it's good to hear your thoughts on all of that. Thanks for joining us on Al Jazeera.